Okay, the second part of the project is very much like the first part, but instead of keeping the area the same, we're going to change the area all the time, but we're going to see how the area changes when we keep the perimeter the same. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to, again, my example is not one that's on your paper. You will have to do that one on your own, but you can follow the same pattern. There's a little bit of you don't want to be doing too many rectangles, so I'm going to give you some hints here so you can save yourself some time. So you definitely want to listen carefully. So we're going to have, we know that we're going to have a perimeter equals 2 lengths plus 2 times W, and we're going to say let the perimeter be 30 lengths around it, okay? So what I wanted, and then we're going to see what happens to the area when we choose different rectangle lengths and widths to make a perimeter of 30. So that's the key here. So what I'm going to do is I want to solve this so I can always just get a formula when I pick my width. So if I choose the width, I can calculate any length, whatever width I choose. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. So let's solve this first. We'll try to get L by itself so we can get lengths whenever we get a width. So the first step is to subtract 2W from both sides. So we get, and I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to put this over here and put 2L since these cancel out. And I'm going to take this side and put it over here and go 30 minus 2W. Then I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2. So when I do that, it turns out I can divide 2 into this and into this. And so I'm going to get 15 minus W. So this formula is going to give me a fast way to get the length if I know the width. Now again, I have to know the perimeter. I have to know the perimeter with a number, and that's 30, and that's where it comes in. In your first one, I think yours is going to be 36 on your first example. So it would be very much like that. You're going to have to go 2 into 36, and you'll get a different number right here. But otherwise, that number is different, but otherwise it's the same process. Okay? So we've got that formula. So let's start with the easiest one to do, which is let's choose W equals 1. Well, if W equals 1, I think most of us can go 15 minus 1 is 14. So I need a width of 1 and a length of 14. That's what I need here. So let's draw that in red. A width of 1 and a length of 14. There's 5, 10, 13, 14. Okay, so that's up here. Width of 1, length of 14. Well, what's my area? So we'll do our area here. The area is 14 times 1, which is equal to 14. So I'm going to write in here area equals 14 for that one. And we're going to say the perimeter is 30. That's our first one. So we can go back to it and say, okay, let's try another one. Let's try W equals 2. So I'm going to get length equals 15 minus 2, which is 13. So if I draw that, I'm going to width of 2, length of, that's 10 here, 13. So that's width equals 2, length equals 13. Okay, well, we know our perimeter here was always supposed to be 30, but our area, if I calculate it here, area is length, which is 13, times width, which is 2, so our area is 26. Oh, it got bigger. Remember, the title of this is maximizing area on this part 2, so we need to make the area bigger. Okay, so it's going in the right direction, so we must pick another one. And if you liked, I did width of 2, width of 1, so a lot of people say do width of 3. Okay? And that's fine. And when you do the width of 3, that gives you a length equal to 15 minus 3, which is 12. But if we're already looking at this now, it's going to take us a while to get overlap. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So we have a width of 3, length of 10, 12. It seems like it's always going down by 1. So when I increase the width 1, the length goes down by 1, which is 12. Okay? And so what's my perimeter? Well, we know the perimeter is still 30 because that's what we said. We're going to keep the perimeter the same. But what's my area? Well, my area is going to be 12 times 3, which is 36. Okay, and we've got this. Again, the pattern is getting bigger. Great. Well, I don't want to be doing this 14 or 15 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest is when you choose widths, I'm going to switch the screen here. When you choose width, do the width of 1, then choose the width of 3, then skip 4 and choose the width of 5. 4 will work, but so this was length equals 14, and this was length equals 12. So probably this is going to length equals 10. If you're not convinced, we'll just put it in the formula here. So we said L, so the formula, which was the formula we developed, which was right here in yellow, right on the left in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to use that formula. 15, whoops, wrong color. 15 minus 5 equals 10, and I got it there. Okay, so, and then I can go width of 7. So if I do, so the length is 15 minus 7, which is 8. Okay, and so you see this going on, and we just have to do the perimeter. The area. The area of this was 14. The area of this was 36. The area of this is 5 times 10, which is 50. The area of this, whoops, wrong one. The area of this is length, so we can do length or width first, is 56. Okay, and you can keep going. Okay, so you'll see a pattern there, and so if I got 7 and 8, well, if I put width is 9, and that means the length is going to be 15 minus 9, which is equal to 6. Okay, no problem there. Everything keeps dropping. So I've got, this goes with, so what's the area? Is 9 times 6, which is 54. Oh, the pattern was increasing. Now here, the pattern decreased. Since the pattern decreased, I stop. And I'm going to use these points. This, this, and this. This, this, and this. This, this, and this. Okay, so you get the idea. What is it here? Here's the length here. And there's the area. We've got that width, that length, and there's the area. So if I make my table in purple, so I didn't keep drawing. You can keep drawing if you want, each one of those, but you really don't need to. You can see the pattern there. If you see the pattern, great. If not, just draw each one of these. Just draw this, and then count the squares. Draw this, count the squares, and keep going through it. So if I do my table, I've got my length, width, and area. And this time I was more prepared. I wrote them on the front of my page here. So the length, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. My lengths were 14, 12, 10, 8, and 6. So I got so here's all the lengths that I wrote down right there. Here's all the widths that I wrote down that go with them. And then I'm going to have to write the areas. So this one went from 14 to 36 to 50 to 56. Oh, 54. And so I'm going to get this, when I go to draw this on the screen, I'm going to get this pattern. So when I go to put this into my L1 on the calculator and this into L2, I'm going to get points. So I'm going to get points that are like here, and then I'm going to get like, well, I got to back it up here. I'm going to point like right here, and I'm going to get a point right here, and then I'm going to get a point like right here, and then point up here, and then it's going to drop down here. And so I can see this pattern, something like that, and I can kind of guess where my biggest area is. This one is a harder one, but I gave you two easier examples where you can definitely find the area and the kind of shape that special rectangle is. So I hope that helps you if you're having trouble figuring out what to do with the instructions.